Florence with the left-leaning paper Libération. They've been focusing on something that's sort of been off the front pages a little bit recently, the French intervention in Mali.
That's right, and Libération asks this question, Où est passée la guerre? Where has the war gone? And they point out that there was this first phase in the intervention, which was very victorious, but since then, Opération Serval has become somewhat of a mystery, and in a way sneaky, says Libération. There are very few images that are coming out of Mali, and reports are few and far between. Now, they point out that journalists there are working under very tough conditions. First of all, they're potentially a target for Islamist rebels, but on top of that, according to Libération, the army isn't being as cooperative as it could be. In their editorial, Libération blames French journalists, French authorities rather, for trying to control journalists and not giving French citizens an honest and legitimate report of what's going on the ground. And in fact, Libération interviews some journalists who have been reporting in Mali, and they say that their relationship with the army is somewhat tricky because on the one hand they depend on the army for transport and protection, but sometimes they feel like they don't have total freedom of movement or freedom with respect to what stories they cover. Now, meanwhile, the army says that at first it was thrilled to have all these journalists, but sometimes now it feels like it's babysitting.
Mm-hmm. Well, meanwhile, Libération's staying with Mali, focusing on how the authorities are trying to rebuild the cultural heritage there.
That's right, because remember, the Islamists, when they left, they destroyed many very important ancient shrines and other sites that were part of UNESCO's list of World Heritage. There's an interesting article that you see right here in Libération by Irina Bokova. She's the Director General of UNESCO. Also, the French Cultural Minister Aurélie Philippiti and the Malian Cultural Minister Bruno Maïga. Now, they write about what their plan is, how they plan on helping restore Mali's culture. And in fact, UNESCO is holding a fundraiser today for Mali. They point out that Mali's renaissance and reconstruction will happen through its culture, and culture isn't just a luxury. Culture is a key to the identity and the unity of Malian society.
Okay, well, moving on to another story. Le Figaro is taking a look at how the Vatican's preparing for the Pope to leave.
That's right. What's going to happen next? Asks the Le Figaro.
It's a bit of a soap opera.
It's a soap opera, exactly. And Le Figaro says that the Vatican is a fluster. Rumors are running all over the place. Who is going to replace Benedict XVI? But also, what's the protocol going to be? Because it's a very unprecedented situation. What a special commission has been actually set up to study this. What's going to happen to Benedict himself? What are we going to call him, first of all? What is his role going to be with respect to the next pope? And also, the very important question, what color is he going to wear? That's a big one that they're working on.
That is a key question. I'm looking forward to finding out the answer, I have to say. Now, other papers here in France focusing on a story coming out of northwestern France, in Nantes.
That's right. If we take a look at the front page of 20 Minutes, it kind of sums it up. It says, in the name of the fathers. And now what happened here is what a lot of papers are calling an act of desperation. And Aujourd'hui en France has pretty much a good description of what's going on. A man is occupying a shipyard crane in Nantes, 40 meters high, and he's been there since Friday. His name is Serge Charny, and he's basically protesting against a custody rule. 2 years ago, he lost a custody battle for his son, Benoit, and all visitation rights, and he says this ruling completely destroyed his family and his life, and he's hoping that by this act, he's going to obtain some sort of maybe a reversal of that judicial order. Now, his act of desperation has really struck an emotional chord here in France. He's attracted the support of many associations that defend the rights of fathers. Also, Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault says that he's following the case closely and has asked for the Minister of Family Affairs and the Minister of Justice to meet with these associations that fight for fathers' rights. And these associations say that too often justice gives the custody over to women, to the mothers. And it's important to note that other cases, other copycat cases have popped up since his act.
Okay, and just finally, big thing here in France, the Michelin Guide is unveiling its restaurant rankings today.
That's right, and that ranking is always hotly anticipated in the cooking world and by foodies. Now, it's not actually going to be such a big surprise because the list of who gets a star, who keeps a star, who loses a star has already been leaked to the press. And if you're interested in finding out, you can go to this article in Le Figaro for a sneak peek if you just can't wait for the list.
I'll be noting down all those Parisian ones, maybe. Thank you very much indeed, Florence, for that look at today's French newspapers. Well, still to come here on Live from Paris.